Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be very exciting for coin collectors and history lovers. We're exploring the top 8 most valuable United Kingdom coins that could be hiding in collections or even old coin jars. These coins include the half new penny, 1 penny, 1 shilling, 5 new pence, 2 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, and 50 new pence. Some of these coins became extremely valuable because of rare mint marks, special designs, limited mintage, or minting errors. In high-grade condition, some have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom halfpenny from 1982, examined in fine condition. Though modest in size and denomination, this coin holds unique appeal for numismatists and collectors interested in late decimal-era British coinage. In this video, we will explore the history behind this coin, highlight its distinctive features, especially the reverse side showcasing St. Edward's crown, discuss its rarity and collector demand even in damaged condition, review its current auction value in US dollars, and provide practical tips for collectors. By the end, you'll understand why even a small coin like this can hold both historical and monetary significance. The halfpenny, or 1/2p, has a long history in Britain, though its decimal version was introduced only in 1971, when the UK transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to decimal currency. The 1/2p coin allowed for precise transactions, making it an essential piece of everyday commerce. By 1982, the halfpenny had been in circulation for over a decade and was approaching the end of its circulation life, with production ceasing just 2 years later in 1984. The coin was minted during the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a period that combined modernization with strong adherence to traditional British coinage symbolism. Coins from this era represent both a practical tool for daily transactions and a collectible artifact from the late decimal period. The 1982 halfpenny, in particular, stands out because it comes from the final years of its issuance, giving it added historical significance for collectors and enthusiasts. The 1982 halfpenny is a small copper-plated steel coin, weighing just 3.56 grams and measuring 17.14 millimeters in diameter. Its obverse features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, showing the Queen wearing the Machin effigy with a slightly turned head. Even in fine condition, most details of her portrait, including the outline of her face, hair, and shoulders, remain visible, though some finer details may show light wear. What makes this coin particularly notable is its reverse design, which showcases St. Edward's crown, a symbol of British monarchy and state authority. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the reverse depicts the crown perched atop a stylized portcullis with chains, a traditional symbol of Parliament. The denomination 1/2p and the year 1982 appear beneath and around the design. In fine condition, the crown and portcullis are still discernible, though minor wear may be present on the raised surfaces. This reverse design adds both visual appeal and historical depth, as St. Edward's crown is traditionally associated with coronations and royal authority, linking the coin to centuries of British heritage. From a mintage perspective, the 1982 halfpenny was produced in relatively large numbers, but its rarity in the collector market comes from condition. Coins in fine condition are less common than circulated, heavily worn examples, as most halfpennies saw extensive daily use in the early 1980s. The combination of low survival rate in good condition and the coin's late decimal era date makes the 1982 halfpenny particularly interesting to collectors, and in damaged or heavily worn condition, such as coins with scratches, corrosion, or discoloration, demand drops significantly. While damaged coins may be useful for beginners or those assembling full date ranges, serious collectors focus on pieces where the reverse design, especially St. Edward's crown, remains visible and distinct. Even minor wear on the reverse can reduce aesthetic appeal and market value, but the historical context of the coin ensures that it still has interest as a type coin for decimal-era collections. So, what is the current auction value of a 1982 UK halfpenny in fine condition on the collector market today? Fine condition examples generally sell for $322,000. Coins with sharper detail, clearer reverse designs, and more pleasing coloration often command the higher end of that range. Coins in very fine condition may sell for $114,000, while uncirculated or mint examples can fetch $10 or more, particularly if the coin retains original luster and shows no surface marks. Though it's important to remember that even though the halfpenny is a low-denomination coin, its historical significance and the presence of St. Edward's crown on the reverse enhance its collectability. Coins from the final years of the halfpenny's circulation maintain steady demand because they are harder to find in good condition, and collectors often seek them to complete date sets. If you're interested in collecting the 1982 halfpenny, here are some practical tips. Prioritize condition. A fine condition coin retains visible portrait and reverse details, making it significantly more valuable than worn or corroded pieces. Buy from reputable sources. Purchase coins from trusted dealers, verified auction houses, or reliable online marketplaces to ensure authenticity. Consider thematic collections. This coin is ideal for collectors focusing on decimal-era coinage, Queen Elizabeth II's early reign, or coins featuring royal symbols like St. Edward's crown. Proper storage: use coin holders or albums, avoid moisture, and minimize handling to preserve condition and value. Check for subtle variations. Slight differences in toning or striking may occasionally make a coin more interesting or valuable. To collectors, in conclusion, the United Kingdom halfpenny 1982 in fine condition may be small in denomination, but it carries significant historical and numismatic interest. The coin's reverse featuring St. Edward's crown links it to centuries of British heritage, while its late decimal-era date adds rarity for collectors seeking quality examples. In fine condition, this coin typically sells for $114,000, offering an affordable yet meaningful addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner assembling a decimal coin set, the 1982 halfpenny is a tangible piece of British history. Its modest size belies its historical importance, and its reverse design continues to captivate collectors interested in the monarchy, British symbolism, and late 20th century coinage. Next up, the United Kingdom one new penny from 1997, especially when found in a dirty or heavily circulated condition. At first glance, this coin may seem ordinary, but as we dig deeper, you'll discover how condition, minting details, and collector demand can still give this everyday penny surprising interest in the auction market. Stick around to find out how much a dirty 1997 one penny can actually be worth in US dollars, and why collectors still keep an eye on it. The 1997 one new penny was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a period marked by stability in British coinage and large-scale circulation. By 1997, the United Kingdom had long transitioned to decimal currency, and the one penny coin played a vital role in daily transactions. These coins were struck by the Royal Mint, continuing a tradition that dates back over 1,000 years. The 1997 issue came toward the later years of the classic bronze penny design, before major compositional and design changes were introduced in the 2000s. Millions of these coins were released into circulation, making them extremely common at the time. However, decades of use have pushed many examples into dirty, worn, or damaged condition, exactly the type of coin we're discussing today. The obverse of the 1997 one new penny features the right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, surrounded by the inscription Elizabeth II times D times G times Reg times F times D, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. In dirty condition, these details are often softened, with grime collecting around the lettering and portrait on the reverse. The coin displays the iconic crowned portcullis with chains, a symbol deeply rooted in British history and Parliament. The denomination one penny and the date 1997 appear below. Even on dirty coins, this reverse design is usually still identifiable, though heavy circulation can reduce sharpness and contrast. The coin was struck in bronze-plated steel by this period, giving it durability but also making it prone to discoloration, spotting, and surface dirt, common traits seen in circulated examples today. Let's be clear, the 1997 one new penny is not rare by mintage numbers. Millions were produced, and many still exist today. However, collector interest doesn't always rely solely on rarity. Some collectors actively seek circulated or dirty coins for date runs, bulk collections, or educational purposes. In dirty or damaged condition, demand mainly comes from beginner collectors, resellers, or bulk lot buyers. Occasionally, interest increases if the coin shows unusual features such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or other minting errors, even when the surface is heavily worn. Without such errors, most dirty 1997 pennies remain low value but still collectible. Now to the big question: how much is a dirty 1997 UK one new penny worth in today's auction market? In most cases, a heavily circulated or dirty example sells for $431,000, especially when offered individually online. In bulk lots, the per coin value can drop even lower. Coins with extreme wear, corrosion, or surface damage usually sit at the very bottom of this range. However, if a dirty coin has an identifiable mint error, unusual coloration, or is part of a complete year set, it can fetch $116,000, and sometimes more if competitive bidding occurs. Cleaned or altered coins usually perform worse, as collectors prefer natural wear over artificial cleaning. If you come across a dirty 1997 one new penny, don't rush to clean it. Cleaning can permanently reduce whatever collector value it may have. Instead, examine it under good lighting and a magnifying glass for any unusual characteristics. Store the coin in a dry environment, preferably in a coin flip or holder, to prevent further corrosion. If you plan to sell, consider grouping it with other UK pennies from the same era, as bulk listings often attract more buyers. And always check recent auction results to understand current market trends before listing. In conclusion, the United Kingdom one new penny from 1997 may not be a high-value rarity, especially in dirty condition, but it still holds historical and collectible interest. Its connection to everyday British life, classic design, and the reign of Queen Elizabeth II makes it a meaningcoin piece for collectors at any level. While its auction value in dollars is modest, understanding coins like this is an essential part of building knowledge, and sometimes, hidden gems appear when you least expect them. Next up, the 1982 20p coin. While at first glance it might seem like a common coin, its unique history and collectible value make it a must-know for both novice and experienced collectors. Even coins in damaged condition, like the one we're discussing today, can hold surprising value in the auction market. So, let's get started and uncover everything you need to know about this remarkable coin. The United Kingdom introduced the 20p coin in 1982 as part of a broader effort to modernize its decimal currency system. The coin was designed to be smaller and lighter than older denominations, yet durable enough for everyday use. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, while the reverse, designed by William Gardner, displays a crowned Tudor rose, symbolizing the unity and strength of the nation. 1982 was the first year the 20p coin was widely circulated, which makes coins from this year particularly interesting for collectors. Unlike later years, the early coins had subtle differences in design and striking that make them identifiable and, in some cases, more desirable. Over time, coins were subjected to heavy circulation, and many ended up scratched, worn, or damaged, which is where the rarity factor begins to come into play for collectors looking for specific mint characteristics, even in less than perfect condition. The 1982 20p coin has several unique features that collectors pay attention to. First, the obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II captures a youthful representation of the monarch, which changed in later years. The reverse shows a crowned Tudor rose, detailed and intricate, a symbol that is highly recognizable in British coinage. Another key feature is the coin's shape. It is a seven-sided, equilateral curve heptagon. This unusual shape makes it stand out from other circulating coins and can affect how collectors perceive its rarity. In addition, subtle differences in the thickness, edge milling, and finish of coins from this first year of issuance are important for enthusiasts, as coins struck in low-quality dies or with slight errors are sometimes highly sought after. Even in damaged condition, collectors look for evidence of these original features. Slight differences in the crown detail, lettering, or the portrait itself can make a damaged coin significantly more valuable than a modern, pristine version. You might wonder, can a damaged 1982 20p coin really be worth collecting? The answer is yes, though it comes with some nuance. Coins in mint condition always fetch higher prices, but damaged coins from the very first year of the 20p series are still rare enough to attract attention. Collectors often look for coins that show the original design clearly, even if there are scratches, discoloration, or small dents. In fact, some damaged coins are more valuable than heavily circulated coins from later years, simply because fewer 1982 examples have survived in any condition. Auction houses and online marketplaces frequently list these coins, and they often attract bids from collectors who are completing a set, or from those who specialize in first-year or era coins. Damaged coins can also be used for educational purposes, showing how metal ages and wears over time, making them a double attraction, both historically and monetarily significant. When it comes to pricing, the value of a 1982 20p coin in damaged condition varies based on the severity of the damage and the visibility of its original features. On average, such coins may range from $5 to $20 for heavily worn or moderately damaged examples. Coins with interesting errors, slightly unusual minting characteristics, or partial preservation of design details can fetch higher prices, sometimes reaching $50 or more in specialized auctions. This fluctuates depending on collector interest, the rarity of the specific coin variant, and current trends in the numismatic market. It's important to note that coins in damaged condition are generally more affordable, making them a great entry point for new collectors who want a piece of history without breaking the bank. Yet even at lower prices, these coins are a valuable investment over time, as early 20p coins are unlikely to be produced again. For those interested in collecting 1982 20p coins, here are some practical tips. Examine the coin carefully even in damaged condition. Check for original design details, such as the crown on the rose, the Queen's portrait, and lettering clarity. These determine value. Know the types of damaged scratches, discoloration, and bends are common, but coins that retain their original shape or unique mint characteristics are still collectible. Compare market prices. Look at auction results and online listings to understand the current demand and value range. Seek certified coins if possible. Coins graded by reputable numismatic services can sometimes sell for a premium even in poor condition. Handle carefully. Avoid cleaning or altering damaged coins, as this can reduce collector value. Natural wear tells the story of the coin's journey and is part of its charm. In conclusion, the 1982 20p coin is more than just a piece of currency, it is a slice of British history. Even in damaged condition, it holds collectible value due to its status as the first widely circulated 20p coin, its unique design features, and the limited number of surviving specimens from that year. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin offers an affordable yet historically rich opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history. Next up, the 1958 United Kingdom 1 shilling. Struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this coin may seem ordinary at first glance, especially in fine condition, but as we explore its history, features, rarity, and auction performance in today's collector market, you might be surprised at how much value and historical importance this small silver-colored coin holds. If you're a coin collector, investor, or simply curious about old British money, this is a coin you'll definitely want to understand better. The 1 shilling, commonly known as the bob, was an important denomination in pre-decimal British currency. In 1958, Britain was still operating under the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, where 20 shillings made £1 and 12 pence made 1 shilling. The 1958 issue belongs to the early coinage of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait had first appeared on British coins in 1953 following her coronation. The obverse of the 1958 shilling features the young laureate portrait of the Queen designed by sculptor Mary Gillick. This portrait is admired for its simplicity and elegance, showing the Queen uncrowned, wearing a laurel wreath, a classical symbol of victory and honoured. On the reverse side, the 1958 shilling features the traditional English design of 3 lions passant guardant within a shield, topped with a crown. This design reflects England's royal arms and symbolises strength and monarchy. Around the shield, you will see the inscription FID Def, an abbreviation of the Latin phrase Fide Defensor, meaning defender of the faith. The coin was struck in cupronickel, as silver had been removed from British circulating coinage after 1946 due to rising metal costs. The diameter measures approximately 23.5 millimeters, and the weight is about 5.65 grams, giving it a solid and durable feel even decades later. Now, let's talk about condition. A 1958 1 shilling in fine condition typically shows moderate wear. The high points of the Queen's hair and the lions on the reverse will appear flattened, and some finer details may be partially worn. However, the date and legends remain clear and readable. Fine condition coins are circulated examples, meaning they have seen everyday use in shops, markets, and businesses across Britain in the late 1950s. While not considered rare in absolute terms, condition plays a critical role in determining collector interest and value. In terms of mintage, the 1958 shilling was produced in relatively high numbers at the Royal Mint. Tens of millions were struck to meet circulation demands across the United Kingdom and parts of the Commonwealth. Because of this large mintage, the coin is not rare in lower circulated grades such as fine. However, survival rates in higher uncirculated grades are much lower, making mint state examples significantly more desirable and valuable. For collectors building date runs of Elizabeth II pre-decimal coinage, the 1958 issue is a necessary and historically interesting piece. When it comes to rarity and damaged condition, the value changes dramatically. A damaged 1958 shilling one that has heavy scratches, corrosion, edge knocks, or cleaning marks typically holds little premium above face value in the UK and only modest collectible value internationally. In such condition, it may sell for around 50 cents to $2 depending on the severity of the damage. Collectors generally prefer coins with natural wear over cleaned or altered surfaces. Harsh cleaning, in particular, can significantly reduce market appeal because it removes the original patina and may create unnatural shine. Now let's discuss the current market value in US dollars. A 1958 United Kingdom 1 shilling in fine condition typically sells in the range of $1 to $4 at coin shows, online marketplaces, and small auctions. Very fine examples may bring between $4 and $8, while extremely fine coins can reach $10 to $15. Uncirculated examples with strong luster and sharp detail can sell for $20 to $40, and in rare cases, premium graded examples certified by professional grading services may achieve slightly higher prices. While it is not a high-value rarity, it remains a steady and affordable collectible with consistent demand among world coin enthusiasts. Auction performance tends to reflect condition above all else. Bulk lots of circulated shillings often sell close to intrinsic collectible value, but individually listed coins with clear photographs and honest grading can achieve stronger prices. International interest, particularly from collectors in the United States and Asia who specialize in British Commonwealth coinage, helps maintain steady demand. Because the coin represents early Elizabeth II coinage, it carries historical appeal tied to the beginning of one of the longest reigns in British history. For collectors interested in acquiring this coin, here are a few important tips. First, always examine the coin under good lighting. Look closely at the Queen's hair details and the lions on the reverse shield to judge wear accurately. Second, avoid polished or cleaned coins whenever possible. Original surfaces are highly preferred. Third, consider purchasing examples graded by reputable third-party grading services if you are investing in higher-grade pieces. Finally, store your coin in a protective holder or capsule to prevent further wear, especially if it already shows signs of circulation. Another helpful strategy is to collect the entire run of Elizabeth II shillings from the 1950s and 1960s. Doing so gives context to the 1958 issue and may increase the long-term desirability of your collection as a complete set. Even though individual pieces like the 1958 shilling are affordable, complete date collections often carry stronger resale appeal than single coins alone. In conclusion, the 1958 United Kingdom 1 shilling in fine condition is not an extreme rarity, but it is a historically rich and collectible coin from the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Struck by the Royal Mint and featuring the elegant portrait by Mary Gillick, this coin reflects a transitional era in British monetary history just before decimalisation arrived in 1971. In fine condition, it typically holds a modest auction value of a few dollars, while higher-grade examples can command stronger prices. For collectors, it offers affordability, historical significance, and a tangible connection to mid-20th century Britain. Next up, the United Kingdom 5 new pence dated 1975, specifically in dirty or heavily circulated condition. Many people overlook grimy, darkened coins found in old jars or pockets, but in the world of numismatics, even a dirty coin can tell a powerful story and sometimes carry surprising value. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1975 5 new pence, what makes it unique, how condition affects its desirability, and most importantly, how much it can realistically sell for at auction in US dollars. The 5 new pence coin was introduced in 1968 as part of the United Kingdom's major transition to a decimal currency system, which officially took effect in 1971. By 1975, decimal coinage had become fully established, and the 5 new pence was a familiar part of everyday transactions. The 1975 issue was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and produced at the Royal Mint. At this time, Britain was facing economic challenges, including inflation and industrial change, which makes coins from this era historically interesting. While the 1975 5 new pence was minted primarily for circulation, variations in condition, strike quality, and survival rates have since influenced collector interest. The 1975 5 new pence is made of cupronickel, giving it a silver-like appearance when new, though this often darkens with age and circulation. It has a diameter of 23.59 millimeters and weighs 5.65 grams, with a plain edge. The obverse features the Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design widely admired for its elegance and simplicity. The reverse shows the crowned thistle emblem, a strong symbol of Scotland, with the denomination 5 new pence clearly displayed. Even when dirty, these design elements remain recognizable, helping collectors authenticate and date the coin easily. In terms of mintage, the 1975 5 new pence is not rare, with tens of millions produced. However, rarity in coin collecting is not only about mintage numbers, it's also about collector demand, condition, and special characteristics. Dirty or damaged examples are common, but they still attract beginner collectors, bulk buyers, and variety hunters. Some collectors actively seek heavily circulated coins to complete date runs at low cost. Additionally, dirty coins can sometimes hide die cracks, off-center strikes, or other mint errors, which significantly increase desirability once properly identified. This is why even worn or unattractive coins should never be dismissed too quickly. For a standard dirty or heavily circulated 1975 5 new pence, auction prices are generally modest. In most cases, these coins sell for $433,000, depending on eye appeal and demand at the time of sale. Lots containing multiple circulated 5 new pence coins may sell for slightly more on a per-coin basis. However, if a dirty coin turns out to have a clear mint error or unusual striking feature, auction results can jump dramatically, sometimes reaching $116,000 or more. Cleaned examples usually sell for less than naturally dirty ones, as improper cleaning can permanently reduce collector value. If you own a dirty 1975 5 new pence, resist the urge to clean it aggressively. Cleaning can remove original surfaces and lower its appeal. Instead, store it safely and examine it under good lighting or magnification for errors or unusual details. Compare it with standard examples to spot differences in lettering, alignment, or thickness. When selling, clear photographs and an honest condition description are essential. For new collectors, these coins are excellent learning tools, affordable, historical, and widely available. For experienced collectors, they offer opportunities to discover overlooked varieties. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1975, even in dirty condition, remains an interesting and educational coin with real, if modest, market value. While it may not make you rich overnight, it represents an important chapter in Britain's decimal history and still holds a place in the collector market. Whether you're sorting through pocket change, building a date collection, or hunting for hidden errors, this small coin proves that every piece of currency has a story and sometimes a surprising auction price attached. Next up, the United Kingdom 2p 1988. At first glance, this coin may seem common, especially when found in dirty or heavily circulated condition, but hidden beneath the grime is a story of British monetary history, collector interest, and surprising auction value. You might even have one sitting unnoticed in an old drawer or coin jar. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know whether your worn 1988 2p coin could still hold value in today's collector market, especially when evaluated in US dollars. The 2p coin is part of the decimal coinage system introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal system. By 1988, the 2p had become a familiar part of daily life, widely used for small purchases and change. The 1988 issue was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait appears on the obverse of the coin. These coins were produced by the Royal Mint, one of the world's oldest and most respected mints. Millions of 2p coins were minted in 1988, primarily for circulation, which explains why so many examples today are found in worn, dirty, or damaged condition. Despite their high mintage, certain examples, especially those with errors, unusual toning, or better-than-expected detail, have drawn growing interest from collectors over time. The 1988 2p coin is made of copper-plated steel, giving it its familiar reddish-brown appearance when clean. However, in dirty condition, the coin often appears dark, dull, or unevenly toned due to years of circulation, oxidation, and exposure to moisture. On the obverse, the coin features the right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, along with the Latin inscription identifying her as the monarch. The reverse displays the iconic Prince of Wales feathers design, a symbol closely associated with British identity and tradition. The date 1988 is clearly stamped below the design, and even in dirty condition, this date is usually still readable, an important factor for collectors assessing authenticity and value. Collectors often examine dirty coins closely, as dirt can sometimes conceal mint errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or weak lettering, which may significantly increase the coin's desirability. While the 1988 2p coin is not considered rare in general terms, condition plays a crucial role in collector demand. Dirty and heavily circulated examples are extremely common, but that does not mean they are worthless. In fact, many beginner collectors and bulk buyers actively seek low-grade coins to complete date runs or to search for hidden errors. Coins in dirty condition may also attract interest if they show unusual characteristics, such as missing details, doubled lettering, or misaligned strikes. Some collectors prefer untouched, uncleaned coins even when dirty, because improper cleaning can permanently damage a coin's surface and reduce its value. As a result, a naturally dirty 1988 2p coin can sometimes be more appealing than one that has been harshly cleaned. When it comes to auction market value, a standard 1988 2p coin in dirty, circulated condition typically sells for around $431,000. These prices are common in online auctions, bulk lots, and collector marketplaces. However, if the coin features a noticeable mint error, unusual coloration, or strong remaining detail despite dirt, auction prices can rise to $5, $10, or even higher, depending on collector interest and bidding competition. Coins sold with clear photographs and accurate descriptions tend to perform better at auction. Even in low-grade condition, it's important to remember that value fluctuates based on demand, platform, and presentation. A coin that seems insignificant today could gain attention in the future as collectors continue to explore modern decimal issues. If you own a dirty 1988 2p coin, resist the urge to clean it aggressively. Cleaning can scratch the surface, remove original metal, and drastically lower its collector value. Instead, store the coin in a protective flip or coin holder to prevent further damage. Examine the coin carefully under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for errors, unusual marks, or differences compared to standard examples. If you believe your coin may be special, consider having it evaluated by an experienced collector or reputable dealer. For those interested in selling, listing the coin with honest condition details and clear images can help attract buyers. Even low-value coins can sell well when presented professionally and grouped with similar items. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 2p 1988 coin in dirty condition may not make you rich overnight, but it remains an interesting and collectible piece of modern British coinage. Its historical background, classic design, and accessibility make it appealing to both new and seasoned collectors. While most dirty examples hold modest value in dollars, certain coins can exceed expectations when errors or unique features are present. Next up, the United Kingdom 10 new pence 1970, particularly examples found in a black shade or darkened condition. While at first glance this coin may appear ordinary or even damaged, certain blackened specimens have attracted serious attention from collectors around the world. In this video, we'll explore how history, minting circumstances, condition anomalies, and collector demand can transform a simple 10-pence coin into a surprisingly valuable auction item. Stay tuned, because by the end, you may look at old decimal coins in a completely new way. The 1970 10 pence coin holds a special place in British numismatic history. It was issued during the early years of the United Kingdom's transition to the decimal currency system, which officially came into full effect in 1971. The 10 pence was introduced to familiarize the public with decimal values and was equivalent in size and value to the pre-decimal 2 shillings coin, also known as a florin. This transitional role makes the 1970 issue historically significant, as it represents the bridge between Britain's old monetary system and the modern decimal era. Millions of these coins were struck at the Royal Mint, but only a small number survived in unusual or altered conditions that later gained collector interest. The standard 1970 10 pence coin is made of cupronickel, features Queen Elizabeth II's portrait on the obverse, and displays a crowned lion holding a key on the reverse, a design symbolizing authority and security. What sets certain examples apart is the black shade appearance, which may result from long-term chemical exposure, heat damage, minting errors, or improper storage over decades. Unlike artificial cleaning or polishing, this darkened surface can sometimes develop naturally, giving the coin a dramatic, almost antique look. When the details of the design remain visible beneath the blackened surface, collectors may see the coin as an intriguing anomaly rather than a defect. While most damaged coins lose value, the numismatic market operates on exceptions, and the black shade 1970 10 pence is one of them. True naturally darkened examples are uncommon, especially when the shading is even, stable, and does not destroy the coin's core details. Collectors who specialize in error coins, environmental damage varieties, or unusual toning actively seek such pieces. The demand increases when the black coloration is consistent and paired with strong design visibility. Because many darkened coins are discarded or cleaned, authentic untouched specimens have become increasingly scarce, boosting their desirability in collector circles and today's auction and online marketplace. The value of a 1970 10 pence in black shade condition can vary widely depending on appearance, authenticity, and buyer interest. Common circulated examples typically sell for less than $1, but black shade coins with attractive toning and no harsh cleaning have achieved auction prices ranging from $321,000. In rare cases where the coin is linked to a documented minting anomaly or unique chemical reaction, prices can exceed $113,000. These values are driven by niche demand rather than face value, proving that rarity and story matter far more than denomination. If you believe you own a black shade 1970 10 pence, resist the urge to clean it, as cleaning can permanently destroy collector value. Store the coin in a protective holder and examine it under natural light to confirm whether the darkening is surface deep or part of the metal itself. Comparing it with standard examples can help identify unusual features. For higher value specimens, consider professional grading or expert evaluation before selling. Monitoring auction platforms and collector forums will also give insight into current demand and pricing trends. Patience is key. The right buyer can make all the difference. The United Kingdom 10 pence 1970 may seem like a modest decimal coin, but in black shade or darkened condition, it tells a much richer story. From its role in Britain's monetary transition to its unexpected rise in collector interest, this coin proves that rarity isn't always about low mintage. Sometimes it's about survival, uniqueness, and visual impact. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector checking old change, this coin is a perfect reminder that hidden value can exist in the most overlooked places. Next up, the United Kingdom 50 pence dated 1978, in circulated condition. At first glance, this large heptagonal coin may look common, especially to those who grew up seeing it in everyday use. However, when examined more closely, the 1978 50 pence reveals an interesting story tied to Britain's decimal era, changing designs, and collector demand. In this video, we will explore its history, unique design features, rarity especially in worn or damaged condition, and, most importantly, its auction market value today expressed in US dollars. The 50 pence coin was introduced in 1969 as part of the United Kingdom's preparation for decimalisation, which officially took place in 1971. This coin replaced the old 10 shilling note and quickly became one of the most recognisable denominations in circulation. By 1978, the 50 pence was well established in daily transactions across Britain. The 1978 issue belongs to the first large-size 50 pence series, which remained in circulation until it was replaced by the smaller version in 1997. During this period, the coin was struck in cupronickel and featured the iconic designs that symbolized British identity. Millions were minted in 1978, reflecting strong economic activity and widespread public use, which explains why most surviving examples today are found in circulated condition. One of the most distinctive features of the 1978 50 new pence is its shape. The seven-sided, or equilateral curve heptagon, was revolutionary at the time and made the coin instantly recognizable by touch, aiding both the public and the visually impaired. The obverse features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin, a classic effigy used on British coinage throughout the 1970s. On the reverse, the crowned lion holding a staff, a design by Christopher Ironside, symbolizes strength, tradition, and monarchy. The coin's large diameter and substantial weight give it a solid feel that modern collectors often appreciate, especially when compared to today's smaller circulating coins. Even in circulated condition, these design elements remain clear, though whereas commonly seen on the Queen's portrait and the lion's details. In general terms, the 1978 50 new pence is not considered rare in absolute numbers due to its high mintage. However, rarity in numismatics is not always about how many were made, but how many survive today in collectible condition. Circulated examples are extremely common, but damaged or unusually worn coins sometimes attract niche interest, especially when they show mint errors, off-metal strikes, or dramatic circulation wear. Collectors who focus on decimal-era coinage often seek representative examples of each year, even in lower grades, to complete date runs. As a result, demand exists even for circulated or lightly damaged pieces, though it is modest. Coins with unusual characteristics, such as deep scratches, planchette flaws, or misaligned strikes, can command higher interest despite their poor condition. When it comes to auction market value, a standard 1978 50 new pence in circulated condition typically sells for a modest amount. In US dollar terms, most circulated examples trade between $324,000, depending on overall wear and eye appeal. Heavily worn or damaged coins may sell closer to face value or slightly above, often under $1, especially when sold in bulk. However, coins showing interesting errors or unusual wear patterns can reach $114,000, and in rare cases even higher if two collectors compete at auction. Uncirculated examples, while not the focus of this video, can reach significantly higher prices, which indirectly boosts interest in circulated coins as entry-level collectibles for beginners. For collectors interested in the 1978 50 new pence, the first tip is to examine the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for errors, doubling, or unusual textures that may increase its appeal. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can reduce its value and damage the original surface. Storing the coin properly in a coin flip or capsule will help preserve its condition, even if it is already circulated. Beginners may find this coin an affordable and educational starting point, while advanced collectors might enjoy comparing multiple circulated examples to study wear patterns and minting quality. Finally, keep an eye on auction listings rather than fixed-price sales, as auctions provide a more accurate reflection of real market demand. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 50 new pence from 1978 in circulated condition may not be a rare treasure at first glance, but it holds an important place in British numismatic history. Its bold heptagonal shape, classic designs, and connection to the early decimal era make it a coin worth appreciating. While its auction market value in dollars remains relatively modest, collector interest continues, especially for examples with unique features or damage that tells a story of decades in circulation. Whether you are a beginner building your first collection or an experienced collector exploring decimal coinage, the 1978 50 new pence is a fascinating piece that proves even everyday coins can carry historical and collectible value.